me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb, I don't get to take off. A hater get up, I'm ready like lift off. I've never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long, I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just had to do and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I got tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low key. I can carve for the D like a turkey. I run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You said that you ballin', keep it real though. Ay, why I never saw you in the field though? Ay, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How it feel to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
Time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a bossy. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
I do this them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, start the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep for your bro, for your post, your pop, and your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat for the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar, one man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn it out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo reel. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, easy to get rich or dead. Trying, this ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make your next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortless.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Strap in. This will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Keep playing hard.
Ready. 10 logo. I'm coming for you. Mine. Deuce. Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, Foxtrot. 54. Mike, 54. Hey, ready.
Throwing on first down. Costello. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Saints.
Down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Kill. 22 jet bomber. Spin.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Let's get it together, team. Recon, 132 fighter.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Clark. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Check. Press them. 6-6. Pull it high.
On 2nd down, it's Clark, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here we go. 50. Plant. I smell fear in that offense.
Mike's 47.
On 1st and 10, Love. And this one complete to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run with Washington. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go now. 60 out block. Check.
Alert 3.
You're out. No. Off.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
On 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
10 yards, good for his Saints. 1st down.
1st down, Saints.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Pass it. 80 weapon. Hey, Haywood.
Operating from the gun. Costello looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 33 yards that time.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10.
61, matchbox right. Hey, high 7.
Off play action. Costello. And he'll find Hall. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On second down now, it's Clark. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Exit. Ready?
Back to throw. Costello. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold him to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, check right hard. Check right 47. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. 25. Scene 6. 25. Go.
To throw on second down. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Delta. 56. Mike 56.
Throwing on third and long. Love. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Costello. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Ready? Max 50. If you don't get this going, you think you're going to get this? General West. Check.
From the gun on 3rd down, Costello. And this is going to be incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
This is taken at about the 14. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
At the 44-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Check 24. Check 24. Yes! Bang, bang. Smoke. 47's the mic, boys. 47.
Operating from the gun. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Switch. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Echo. Ready, go.
Off the play fake. Love. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Taking it about the 16. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
X3, 218, chop it. Rock it.
On the ground, this is Kamara. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Yes.
2nd and 6. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
A gain on the play.
Down.
First down.
10-2 stop. Blue draw quarters.
On first down, Costello, complete. Smith has it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. That's going to be a 103-yard kickoff return. What a run. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the toss play, this is Washington. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. A nice pickup there, 18 yards. First down, Falcons.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Running it, Washington. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first, here's Washington. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. Love. Jones has it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Give him now 1,062 catches in his career, and I'm looking at the list here. That ties him with Andre Johnson.
And I wonder if he ever wrote Andre Johnson's name down and that number and said, that's where I'm trying to go. That's what I'm trying to get to? If so, congratulate yourself. You are there. That means you rank amongst the best that have ever done it.
Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Lock it. Check 50. Check 50. Dogs off. 1-3.
Now Washington, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The second quarter score from KC. The Chargers out to an early lead over the Chiefs. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Back to throw. Costello. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Go, go. Mark 54. Mark 54. Watch the screen. Pass. Hey, watch that.
Back to the air on second down. Costello. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 38-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Come on, set.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Hey, echo. Mike 5-4. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Right there. Ready.
From the gun, Costello. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
26-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Got it. 45 for Mike. Hey, get away with it. Get it.
Operating from the gun, Costello. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it'll be second and goal.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Protein spill. Check Mike 54. Mike. Hey, wahoo.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Myers' kick is good. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Off play action. Love. Looking deep for Julio. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there. A big one.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And, boy, they hit that one.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Washington now out of the gun. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Tighten up, tighten up. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
2nd and 3. He's got Smith here. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Yep. Mike 47. Bring it. Bring it. SOS. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Check.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Get him. Wide. Get wide. Check your hot read.
They run from the shotgun with Washington. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that will put them on top here in the third. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Again, it's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Here we go, set, 90, Wolf. Here we go. Hey, orbit. Now.
On 3rd down, Costello. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Squeeze, get in there. Shoot. Slip. Recon, 132 fight. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Zoom, fellas, let's go. 56, Mike.
2nd and 1. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Whip. Watch the whip.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On the double. 6. Mike's 56. I got it. Check. 66. Bullet high. Let happen.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Draw play, Washington. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Well, sometimes it doesn't appear like much. The out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. But the reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
Looking to throw. Love. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13.
Set, ready, 60, orange. Yeah, let's go. Tight dog. Watch the edge. Ready, go.
From the gun, Love. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And his kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 31-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Watch safety creep.
Back to throw. Costello. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
To throw on second down, Love, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion 56, on second down.
56, right there, 56.
Operating from the gun, Love. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, Delta. 45. Mike, 45. Tighten up. Ready.
Looking to throw. Costello. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Come on here, come get here. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Come on.
To throw on third down. Costello. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at the 15. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And that will come the offense as they take over. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's third and short.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Watch it.
Washington on 3rd and short. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
No. Off. Sponge. Grace don't travel. Patrick. Squeeze. Get in there. Yep. Go.
Now on first down, it's Washington again. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up. Gone. Joker.
They'll run on first down. Washington. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
25. Check. Under 10. 10. Topper. Jim. Lock it. Hey, check 24. Ready.
A handoff for Washington. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Kamara. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Team 6.
Back to throw. Costello. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Switch. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, foxtrot.
Back to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Bravo. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. I got you. Mike's 50. Hey, watch that.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Ready. 18 Gators. 54. Hey, dude. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, watch the ball. Now. Mike's 5'4".
He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd and short. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Mike's 54. Let's go, D.
He's back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, high 7. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Rip left. Check it backer. Topper. Hey, exit. Ready.
On 4th down, Costello, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check 13. Check 13. General West. Right there. 54 Mike. All day. Fight.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a 3rd one winner. And this one is right through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did. So
for the Saints, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1.